can we have a round near London? A real sort of city venue type thing. We're going to work on that today. Robin Kavanagh, can't wait. Who's judging next year? I want to spread UK drifting all over the country. Morning everyone, I'm Matt Stevenson. Last week we put out a couple of posts on our social media platforms asking for some questions and answers that you guys wanted to know. Well, answers from me, try and get a little bit inside information and see what you can make me slip up and tell you all. I've got a list of questions here that I'm pretty much only just looked at, so it's going to be real answers, honest real answers. We're at Slide Motorsport, one of the sponsors of the championship. We're in the waiting room. We'll get straight in there. So the first question was from Tom Sirrar. It's a bit of a different one actually. With electric vehicles gradually being implemented into motorsport, what are your views on EV being used and implemented into drift? Are you looking forward to it or not? Would you integrate EVs into BDC or eventually make a separate class? So would we bring electric vehicles into it? We have actually been in discussion with a couple of people regarding it. It's something that we or I need to definitely look into, but there's also a lot of safety aspects that need to really be considered about it that can't be overlooked at all. I think there's some cool stuff to it, but also for me, drifting is all about, the smoke, the noise, all that side of things. And with electric vehicles, we all know the noise can be taken away a lot. So it's something to look at, but I wouldn't say it's something in the immediate future. And whether that needs to be a separate class or not, don't know. You tell us your thoughts. Anyone else on that one, let us know. Next one, Nathan Latham. Bit of a rhyme there, Nathan Latham. Which of the shock tracks that won't be visited this year are spoken about in Pit Talk with Eddie? So if you saw it or not, or if you heard it, should I say, I did Eddie Power, the commentator from the Irish side, has got a new talk show. Did a talk show with him last week, and it was really fun to do. Enjoyed that. And I mentioned on there that there's some shock tracks that won't be visited. Well, do I say? Do I not? It's a bit of a tough one. That we have. I'd like to give you some little bits in this, but I'm going to hold that one in and not let you know on that one, because what we have changed is one of the questions that came out a lot was that everybody wanted to know what dates, what venues. We got asked millions of times. It's the only thing people want to know, what dates and what venues. And so far, all we've told you really is that we're going to be releasing everything at Autosports in the beginning of January. Well, the good news is we're going to let you know one of the dates and venues of a really special event later on this week, which is going to be really good. And the other bit of news is that on Christmas Day, we're going to let you know another venue, which, again, these are reasons to buy the season tickets, and White shows it's an absolute bargain. So we'll pass on that question, but in exchange, I've given you a little bit of information. So hopefully that ticks the boxes. Robert Reynolds, S14. Championship predictions for next season. It's genuinely not something I've even thought about yet. Ollie Evans, he's won this year, he's going more power, he's got the aggression, he's ticking boxes, he's always going to be a contender. A close friend of mine, Adam Simmons. A lot of other people currently have put the cars to one side, they're doing new builds, they're changing things, and Adam's out as much as he can, smashing seat time. So he finished on a really big high, and now he's still getting the seat time. We all know that it's not the best cars that win, it's the driver as well. So he could be one to watch. The likes of some of the semi-pros, the pro-ams that have come up into the pro class could be ones to watch as well. So the Josh Kings, the Martin Cowleys, I think they're going to be strong contenders. Andy Frost of Fast R could be one to watch. There's a few. I think over the next sort of month or two, we're going to go out and do a lot more of these Q&As and go and speak to the drivers, and I think from that we'll gauge who's the confident ones, whose builds are looking, who's up to date with them. So if there is any drivers that you really want us to go and visit and speak to, again, let us know in the comments and get back to us. So Jonesy 850. This is something that comes up very regular for us. Will there be any more southern drift events? Everything seems up north. It's a tough one for us. I want to spread UK drifting all over the country. It needs to be as spread out as everywhere, and it 100% lacks some southern venues, and it's something we're really, really trying to work on. But as crazy as that sounds, whenever it gets mentioned, you always also get people far north of, higher than Driftland and in Scotland that will always complain that the events are actually too central or too southern. So there's pros and cons to each. We just want to spread it out across the country as much as possible, and gaining new venues isn't an easy task, and it's something that can't be done overnight. The venues are available, but we need to build on relationships. We need to make sure that drifting's seen to be professional. We need to tick all the boxes of the bigger venues. We need to open doors with new venues. So since I took over, 18 months ago, it's something that I've been working on sort of daily, weekly, to do those things. But it's not an overnight thing. But believe me when I say we're definitely working on it. Stephen Evans, which is the one and only Stiggy, I believe, who's judging next year. That's one that. So we had some ups and downs this year with judging, and it were a rough start due to all of us being inexperienced in reality for that. But towards the end of the year, I feel that it was vastly improved. And speaking to a lot of drivers, you're never going to please everyone with judging because it's an opinionated sport. So I feel that for what we did, it came out really well in the end. For next year, we are definitely looking to open it up. We're not fixed on the set 100% team as it stands. We've got a lot of options and people who we'd like, but again, due to availability, cost, who wants to do it, and who people think are right, will vary that. So that's something that we'd love your opinions on, because everyone's quick to say someone isn't very good at something, but let's spin that for a positive and actually tell us, who do you think would be really good? Who would you have to judge? If it were down to you to pick, who would you pick? Right, next question. Ross Stark. Are you doing wildcard entries next year? This is a new rule for 2020, that each round we are bringing one wildcard entry. Now, we're open to that. So if you think you've got the minerals to do it, then get in touch, and we'll look at what options we've got. We'll be in contact with some people, and we just want to make cool events with cool people there. So if it means we slip the odd wild card in, then it's only a good thing for everyone. Teresa Trinder, can we have a round near London? This within the last couple of weeks alone, I've spoken to a couple of venues in and around London. So again, like I previously said, it's something that we're always working on. What will be released, you'll have to wait and see what happens from it. We've got a top fan here, Mark James. Will the RC cars be with us next year? So the Rat Trap team guys were really good this year. It's been a learning curve. We've had the big marquee with the cars are set up. They bring all the props to make it look cool. Looks like a real sort of city venue type thing, and we think that's brilliant. We're going to work on that to build it and make it even better, and we can't wait to have the Rat Trap team back. And one of the rounds this year should be something really special for the RC, and you'll probably find more out about that on Christmas Day, so look forward to that one. Next, Gail Supra Huckle, can we have more rounds in 2020 please? So previously we've always had 5 rounds. Last year we introduced 6 rounds, and there's pros and cons to that. We'd love to put on as many events as we can, but obviously due to driver costs, it's not a cheap sport for the drivers, so we've got to be conscious of that. The time consumed in actually doing events. So although you guys at home might only see the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe a day either side, what it takes for us behind the scenes to actually build and promote and make sure everything's ticked off and right is a lot of hard work for a really small team. So we don't want to jump too far in the deep end, but as we can build it and put more events on, it's definitely something that we'd like to do, whether that be more BDC rounds or whether that be similar to like the Battle Royale events where we can put one-off sort of things on that just make it cool and you might enjoy. Then never say never. Next question. Robin Kavanagh, what are the dates for 2020? Let's face it, everyone wants to need to know. I don't know why that's in there, because like I said, we've been asked a million times, so his crept in there. Like I say, later in the week you find out some big news. Christmas Day, some more news. If we're feeling nice, we might let you know another before Autosports. If not, then we'll let you know everything that you need to know about Autosports. And remember, the season tickets will be on sale Friday, I believe, this week. But again, for a limited time, so jump on them. They're the bargains to be had. Finn Barnes, can we have a backwards entry competition, please? So I saw a couple of comments about this on one of the posts regarding like backwards entry and like the drift game style things of can we put more of that in? And one of the wording was, can we put it in the gaps? So what's quite interesting is currently, from our point of view, there aren't really many gaps, because in between the guys practicing and doing things, then plus obviously doing the qualifying and battles and everything, the track action disappears quick, and we don't want the fans to have to sit by the track for 8 hours, because we want a bit of variety. So we're trying to vary it up a little bit and have on-track action, and then obviously the off-track action as well. So we want to put more fun stuff in, but it's finding the suitable gaps that can fill it, and we've got a fair few ideas for that this year that it's seeing different things that people want to see. It's interesting. Drifting's amazing, but do you want to watch 8 hours of it, 8 hours worth of it, or do you want to, would you rather it split up a little bit and see some other cool things on the same weekend? So that's our thoughts on it anyway. Oh, my good friend Ben Manuel, do I still have a job, please? Well, Ben, if you stick your CV in the post and let me know, and then we'll have a little chat about that one. Ben's done some good things this year. Brings a lot to the team. Really good attitude and a really good it builds all the drivers up. The drivers love that, so I would like to think you'll see Ben back next year. Any new venues on the cards? Yes, we have got new venues on the cards. We're always looking at now, next year, and going forward even further as well. So as said, we're wanting to mix things up, because if we go to the same venues all the time, there's only so many things you can do with it. So we'll always trying to look for new venues that we can do new things with and get new audiences, so not more people can see drifting. Controversial one here from Ian Telford. Will Nathan Black be making a comeback? So Nathan has so many positive fans and so many fans that aren't a fan of his. So for now, we'll leave that one as a undisclosed and listen to some more feedback on that and go from there. Andy Durant, will Buxton be on again? Buxton were a good one for me. Really enjoyed it. What was good about Buxton was that a lot of people doubted that it would be any good. So to be able to prove to people that it can really work, yes, it's got its flaws, but every venue's got its flaws, was satisfying from my front, because I was confident beforehand that I knew I could make it work. And in my opinion, a lot of people's opinion, we did. So never say never to Buxton, and we've learnt a lot as well. So if we were to go back at some point, whether it be next year or in future years, then I feel we could really, really put on a good show this time. Matt Fountain, fancy a taco? So I went to Matt Fountain's one of our BDC drivers. We went to the States earlier this year to watch the last round of Formula Drift, and he seems to think all I did was eat tacos, which could be true. Paul Conlon, any cheap ferries? So this is a good thing. This is Paul's one of the, for anyone who doesn't know, he's one of the top Irish drivers, and he's been in the sport a long time, and he really wants to come over to the UK, but the ferries are an expensive thing. So we're looking for any deals we can do for anybody to help the drivers get over here, because it seems that with different things happening in Ireland, a lot of the guys would like to come over and drive in the BDC, or at least do a round or two. So it'd be awesome to see some of them guys come over. That'd be really good. Clive Littlechild, will Ian Waddington still be commentating with just as much passion and enthusiasm? I think even if I asked him to calm down and just chill and have a minute, I don't think he would. I think it's built into him. I think that's the only way he knows how to commentate, and I think it's brilliant for it. He does a mega job at what he does. That's why he got the I think it was the Passion for Drifting Award or something like that, but he deserved it. He did well. Jordan Clift, can we expect to see T-side reverse layout again? This was a savage year. This was savage this year, sorry. T-side reverse layout. Again, it was similar to Buxton. It got a lot of people questioning whether it should work, whether it should be done. It ended up being really good. We absolutely loved it. Again, I'd say that's something that I'd love to revisit and do again at some point. Will that be on the cards this time? maybe we'll put it to the public vote. If we were to go back there, then should we do it normal way or reverse layout? That's potentially something to look at. Dan Martin, so one of the media guys, Dan's smashed out some amazing footage this year, which has been good to have, so appreciate it. Big shout out to all the media guys. Can we put tents out for media people so we don't all begin to drown immediately at BDC events? So I feel there might be a little dig there that's rained all year at BDC. I've said it before, it's the one thing that we can't control, but I feel due to how much rain we've had this year that it's physically impossible to get any more next year. So however many rounds there are next year, it's got to be guaranteed that there's no rain. It's got to be. So I think you're safe. Don't need tents. Maybe tents for the sun. Maybe there's too much sun. Daniel Fletcher, could we have more camping at events? I think that went down a treat at Buxton. Camping worked really well. I've spoke to a lot of people who came a long distance because they could make a full weekend out of it, a little bit more on a budget, and enjoy a beer or two on a night and make it a really good weekend. So that's something we really want to integrate into the events. That brings you into some of the venues. Now sometimes the venue is the limitation on whether you can stay over. So what makes a good venue for, let's say, an amazing track might not allow you to be able to stay over on a night, or it might not have the perfect pit facility or something else. So we look at all aspects that you need on we look at all the, to make a perfect venue what you'd have, and we have to make some sacrifices, and I definitely put camping higher up the priority list for now on going forward, because we had a lot of positive things for that. Last question, Chris Classens, who is behind that camera. Are we going to see some beautiful women? That's a typical Chris comment. I would like to think so, yeah, of course we are. A lot of them. So they're the questions, they're my answers. Thanks for watching. We'll no doubt do some more of these, and like I say, we'll go and see some drivers, we'll go and see some builds, we'll let you know some videos, we'll put some videos out with the new venues in, and we'll give you as much content as what we can. 2020 is all about the content, the videos, and pushing it forward. So support us, buy some tickets, buy the new merch that's out right now, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers.